This is a video example showing you how to isolate the unknown variable. So in this case, my variable is d, and I'm trying to get d all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So my final equation will say d equals something. So when I look at it, d's in the denominator of the fraction. Now I've got to get it out of the denominator. To do that, I'm going to cross multiply. So to cross multiply literally means denominator of one fraction times the numerator of the opposite fraction. So in this case, I'll go in this direction with the arrow, and I'll go 2 times, in parentheses, 3 plus 4d, because that's the whole denominator. So I got to do the whole denominator times 2. On the other side, I've got 3 times negative 6. So there's the other part of the cross multiply, and that becomes the other side. And then I'll make these equal to each other. It doesn't matter which expression you put on which side. I'm going to reverse them just so I have my variable on the left-hand side to be a little bit different in my examples. All right, so what's the next step? Well, actually, I can simplify before I get to the good stuff here. So I'll simplify. So negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. And I'm going to show you two methods you could use. And I don't know if method or just two choices about how to start really is probably a better way to put this. So the first thing I'm going to do is on the left-hand side where I have method 1, I'm going to divide all terms by 2 on both sides of the equality sign. So that's all terms. That means that everything on the left gets all divided by 2. The nice thing here is that 2 on the left and the 2 on the bottom, they're going to divide out. And on the right, it's going to be negative 18 divided by 2, which is going to be negative 9. So 3 plus 4d is equal to negative 9. Now I need to isolate d all by itself on the left. So to do that, I got to get rid of that positive 3. So I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 3 from both sides. So I'll subtract 3 from both sides. On the left, you can see my negative 3 and my 3 are going to subtract out. And that's going to leave me with 4d is equal to negative 12. Now to isolate d, I'll do the opposite of 4 times d and divide both sides by 4. So I'll divide all my terms by 4. On the left-hand side, you can see the 4's divide out. On the right-hand side, it's negative 12 divided by 4. So d is equal to negative 3. Let's look at the next approach. It's called method 2, but really it's just another approach. So 2 times, in parentheses, 3 plus 4d equals negative 18. What I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the 2. When I distribute the 2, it means multiply everything in the parentheses by 2. So every term in the parentheses by 2. So one term is 3, the other term is 4d. So 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4d equals negative 18. Then I'll simplify this a little bit, and I'll subtract 6 from both sides, because remember, I'm trying to get d all by itself, and it's positive 6, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So that's going to get rid of the 6 on the left. Great. Now I've got 8d is equal to negative 24. Next step, isolate d. It's 8 times d, so now to isolate d, I'm going to do the opposite and divide by 8. So I'll divide both sides by 8. 8d divided by 8. Well, the 8's are going to divide out, leave me with d all by itself. So d is equal to negative 24 divided by 8. So d is equal to negative 3. So it doesn't matter how I start, which quote-unquote method or choice I make in the very beginning to get this working, I still get the same correct answer.